Come with me and see how I've made this beautiful project using Maremi's springtails and backgrounds and blending techniques. So let's get going. Hi everybody, sorry it's been a while since I did my last video, but I'm back now and I'm just going to do a little bit of a blending background to get myself back into doing some videos again. So I hope you'll stick around and you enjoy this video. Okay, so first of all I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping, so I'll just move these lids out the way. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit of text. Just want it to be faint in the background, I don't want it to be too, so I'm just going to second print this. Okay, so just going to add them randomly on the page, here and there, so just as a backdrop really, because I will be blending over the top of them. That's a bit dark, so let's see, sorry I'll turn it back around in a moment, it's just easier if I can stamp. There you go. Just do one little last one at the top and that should be okay. Okay, so I'm going to start some blending, but I want this to have a spotlight in the middle, so I'm just going to sort of place her here just so I know roughly where to do my spotlight, and I'm going to use old paper, so just take off a little bit of the ink just so that it blends a little bit nicer on the page. I've used Versifying Clear on the stamping, so that should say permanent now, and it won't move with the oxides over the top. Okay, so like old paper, it's like a greeny colour more than a beigey colour. It's like an off-white with a green tint. So if I just gently blend that into the page, just take another quick look. So I want it to sort of surround her, so I just need to do a bit more there on that one. And from there I'm just going to add in a few more colours. I've got Faded Jeans, Lost Shadow, and a little bit of Black Soot just to add that depth. And I've linked it up with everything that's in her jacket. I have covered her already in clear gesso, just so I can do a little bit, possibly a little bit blending later. So let's have a look. Is that okay? Yeah, I think we might be okay. Just do a little bit more here with the old paper. Okay, lovely. Okay, so a little bit of Faded Jeans now in just a second. Okay, so let's start around here. What I do want to incorporate in a moment though is a little bit of a hillside, a little bit of a walk-in where she's walking, so I will use my little hill mask that I've done for myself by just ripping up some copy of paper, and I'll make the hill mask from that. Sorry, I've gone a little bit off shot there. Okay, so let me just blend in some more of this blue. Does anybody else like blending? I love blending and mixing the colours together. Okay, pretty. Okie dokie, nearly there. I'm just going to add a little bit more blue at the top, and then I'm going to start adding in my other colours. So as you can see, the stamping that I did is just fading into the background, which is absolutely fine. I didn't want it too prominent. I might do some more stamping or some bits and pieces over the top anyway. Okay, so a little bit of, I'm going to use a little bit of pumice stone I think now, just to add in another little colour. Sorry if my arms are across the video at the moment, it's a little bit awkward when you're blending. I like to work sideways, but I'm actually trying to do it full on so that you can all see what I'm doing. to you what type of blending brushes that you use, but I quite like these ones that I purchased from Lavinia Stamps. I just find them really useful for blending. Nice smooth texture, and they're nice to hold, etc. And they do them in the different sizes. So this is a 7, and this one is, I believe it's a 9, and then they do have a smaller one which is a 3, and they're fantastic for blending and doing little sections. Okay, so let's just have a quick check in to see. I think we might need some bit more colour in around this area here, so we might use some Lost Shadow now, just to bring in another little colour in. And again, trying to match all the different colours in her wings, and things like that. Okay, so here again, just to bring all this together. So as you can see, I've tried to spotlight round her and I've lost some of it here, so I'm going to see if I can add that back in with my old paper, just a bit more around here. It will blend in with the faded jeans, but that's okay. Again, it will all match up with her coat, with her jacket rather, not her coat. Okay, hope everybody's with me up to this point. I was put her in that bit there because I do want to add. Okay, so I'm going to use I will use pumice stone, I think, just to put in this first bit of the ground. It's not got to be perfect, I just want her so she looks like she's actually, you know, walking along a pathway type of thing. So let's just move her out the way for a little bit. Again, I've just made this little mask out of a piece of paper, just ripped it across, gently come off the page when you're blending, and hopefully it will give us this nice blended in hill. Can you see that, like, sort of thing coming together there? Might need a little bit of a darker colour to bring that in, so let me have a go. Just a little bit of black soot, but I'll take some of that off just to, so it's not too harsh. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, like I said. It's just a little bit of a path that she's walking on. We can add some additional little marks and make it a bit more realistic in a moment when we start adding all the little finishing touches. So as you can see, it's just a little bit of a pathway. Just put a little bit there. Okay, so if you put her on, hopefully she'll look like she's walking through. Okay, when we finally attach her, I'll blend all this section in a moment. Okay, and we'll put her in there. Okay, right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to add in some blue so it all tends to fixate with the top. Okay, sorry, I keep saying okay. Habit, teacher habit, making sure everyone's okay when I'm doing in the classroom. Force of habit. All right, there you go. Okay, so like I said, I've already put clear gesso all over our little fairy, so I'm just going to glue her down where I need her, and then I can start adding in all the other bits and pieces. Sorry, my chair's a bit squeaky and my glue's gone. Okie dokie, bear with me one moment, folks, because my glue's gone. Where's all my glue gone? Oh, I've got some clear gesso. I'll use that for now. Compromise. Hopefully this will stick it down. So let me just get a paintbrush. Where have you gone? Here you go. Sorry about that. Don't know where my glue's gone. It's on me on my table. Okay. Let's just get this glue down. I'm going to put a little bit of gesso over the top. I'll just be careful with the Distress Oxide so they don't smudge. Just bring her down a little bit. Just want to be able to put some sentiments at the side of her as well, so that's what I'm conscious about. Okay, let's get this down. Again, like I said, be careful because of the oxides in the background. So you see the tone they're blending, so hopefully we can use that to our advantage in a little while. This is why I tried to do the gesso before I put her onto the oxides. Okay, I think she should stick, so that should be fine. Okay. So while she's just drying, a little bit more there. I'm just going to give her a quick blast of the heat, so excuse the noise for a while. Okay, there you go, she's dry. Just bend the card up a little bit. I'm not too sure if I put a little bit too much of the stamping on in the background, but hopefully it'll be okay. I might have to do a little bit more stamping in just to bring it down a little bit in a moment. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to try and tidy this bottom little bit up a bit there. I think she just needs a little bit more underneath where she's walking, so I can make it more like a little bit of a path. So bear with me a moment. Let's just add some little more markings for the path. Just behind her foot there, just a little bit of shading because she's walking. Bring that out here. I can blend that in a bit more at the bit later. Put that a little bit darker underneath the foot at the front, because obviously it's a shade from her foot, so we'll have that coming out a little bit more. Okay, that's not too bad. And again, I'll put some shading in that in a moment. But what I do want to do is just to add in some little grasses again, so that it overlaps her foot. So again, she looks three-dimensional type of thing. Oops, I've got a stamp on the back, so I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're just going to add in some grasses, little gentle ones. I'll put in some darker ones in a moment, but for the time being I just want some very faint ones like in the background. Oh, sorry, can you see? Just a little few heads there. I love this grass. Again, it's like a field grass. It's quite tall, and you're walking through all the fields. It's free. It's nice and gentle. Okay, so what I'm going to do though is put a few darker ones, just to bring it into the forefront. Should I do one going across her? Yeah, let's just do one going across her. There you go. See how that brings it like to the front? I don't want it too regimental, so let's have it going a little bit there. Need a little darker one just down here, like a double one. There you go. Alright, I think I might just have a few coming up the side, just to bring it all together. I will do some shading around this in a moment anyway. Let's just have it like blowing in the wind. There you go. Don't want to do too much because I don't want to overcook it. Okay, all right. I still feel like I need some more shading, so where's my grey? What I'm going to actually use, I'm going back to the number 3, and I've got some pumice stone and some lost shadow, and I'm just going to start adding in just a little bit more shading underneath her feet. I might have to have black soot, to be fair. Oops, I've just put it on the wrong brush, but too late now. But not to worry, these things happen. Okay, it's coming together now. I just put a little more texture on the floor, so I might add a little bit of blue in the bottom actually, just to bring all the colour scheme together, because this bit here looks a bit pale. Have I got another little brush? Should have. A little number 3 for the blue. Okay, so let's just add in some blue. to bring all the colours together. Okay, I'm also going to use, if I can find my pen, I just need, oh, where are we? Just a fine tip liner, and I'm just going to put in some little bit of a, so in the background it looks like grass coming up from her feet. Just add some little extra texture bits. Not necessary, you don't have to. I just like to add them in so it's not too, just a straight line at the back. Okay, there you go. And then, like I said, we've got her coming in front of her boots, in front of her shoes there. And what I am going to do is to add some white little blossoms to these little woods we've got. So I'm just going to use the opaque manga, I can never say this, Mangak opaque liner, okay, from ZIG. This is quite good in terms of the white dots. Let's just pump it, that's fine. Okay, so if we just add in a few tiny little dots, it looks like the blossom is coming off the branches. You can use any colour you want to. I'm just trying to stick to the same few colours just throughout the whole design. You could use stickles, anything really. You could add a little bit of sparkle if you wanted to. Winkestella, you could add in a few little streaks of Winkestella to make it glitter, but I'm just doing something a little bit muted today, a little bit faded. She looks like she's deep in thought, carrying her flowers, and she's off to visit somebody, or she's just bought herself some flowers because she wanted to. I used to do that every payday. I used to go and buy myself some flowers. Just made me feel good. I'd worked hard, so I went and got them. Okay, I will use the marker actually just to put in some white highlights in different areas, just to do that. I don't want to do it over, like I said, because I do want it to be a bit like muted. There you go, just a few add in. I have got a silver liner that I could use for the wings, just to add in a little bit of sparkle if I wanted to in a moment. Okay, but what I do want, I'm going to add in a few little bubbles, I think, in the air. It just needs something. I can put some white splatters in. I might even put a darker edge just to bring the actual picture in. I'm just going to do some shading around the little girl. Okay, just mute them a little bit. They're a bit too, oops, gone a little bit too far there. Just to bring her foot in. She looks like she got an odd shoe on. Maybe she has. Okay, like a stripy socks. You can put some more dots around the bottom of the little dress if you want, just to emphasise the lace on the dress. Totally up to you. Yes. Okay, right. So what I do need is my Kurosaki light grey. So here it is. It's hiding right under my nose. There you go. I just want to come out a little bit. Bring that down. I've got a little paintbrush, and we just wet my paintbrush. So because we've used clear gesso on the edges, hopefully again it won't smudge too much. It's just really to outline, bring her to the forefront. I do normally fussy cut a little bit more closer, but I was hoping that I could blend this in, which I'm trying to do now. Hope you're all still with me. Love the fairies from this book, they're good. If there's any of the other fairies or any of the other characters from the book, the images that you'd like me to use in some of the projects, feel free to let me know. I'd love to you know, have a go at those for you, see if I can come up with some different ideas. It helps when people give you ideas and some little things that you can be carrying on with, because sometimes you look at a blank page and it's just a blank page and you never know where to start. I know it's hard coming back and trying to do things. Still can't get used to talking to myself and doing these videos, but hopefully it'll get easier and I won't feel so bad talking to myself. A bit like COVID, when half the students probably weren't listening to us when we were trying to teach them online. Okay, just going to add in a few little finishing details. I like her in a little bomber jacket, it's cool. Okay, I know you're all screaming at the page for me to put something up here, which I'm going to do in a moment, so bear with me because there's too much white space. I do like a little bit of white space, but not too much. So it'll all come together hopefully in a moment. Dots in the daisies. I love daisies, pretty. Looking forward to the nice weather that we're supposed to be getting next week, so that'll be good. Can actually sit out in the garden, hopefully. Right. Again, just adding some finishing little touches. It just brings the details out in the little images. Okay, not too much, but just a few little daisies here. She's got quite a few little bits hanging from her dress there, which I wanted to try and keep in because it adds. You can add some little details, some creases to her dress to define them. Anybody's got any hints or tips in shading, please let me know, that would be great. I just like experimenting with all different bits and pieces and seeing what works, what doesn't. I do love blending though, that's my favourite. First thing I ever tried when I got into Tim Holtz stuff. Okay, but I do love my Maremi collage images and building pictures from these. It's been fab and I've met some lovely people. I learnt a lot from other people on YouTube and Instagram. It's been great getting to know people. Again, still not happy with her feet. I still need something a bit darker to blend that in. So let's just try again. Try and define these hills. A little bit more of this path. Okay, I'll add some colour down there. I think needs something behind her because of the shadow from her walking. It's because I left that. Should have cut it off really, but never mind. Left it on and it's there. Okay, that should be okay. Bit of shade in there should be fine. Trying to see what it looks like for you guys. Hopefully we can still see the spotlight. Right, so now I just want something at this top, so I'm going to get my circles if I can find it. Where's it disappeared to? I'm going to try and add in some tiny little circles if I can. I'm hoping my white opaque will work, just to bring in some little circles. It doesn't have to be full ones, it could be like little blobs here and there. Fairy orbs, as they would call them. I'm forever blowing bubbles. There you go. We need a few little white ones here. Brilliant. Oh, that one's a nice one. Okay, one down here, little medium one. Do I have one coming half behind her? We don't want them all perfect, do we? Okay, oops. A few more somewhere. One up here. You get carried away, don't you? Whee. Oh, pen's going. Add some on. It's because I'm on top of Distress Inks. It's blending a little bit. There you go. Hopefully you can still see that. I might add some little black bits into it. Add some black highlights and it sees it better. There you go. Even a little grey pencil. Got some tiny ones. Ooh. Boop. Boop. Yeah, that's bringing it all together, isn't it? Hopefully. Hope you like that. I do. Boop. Tracy, stop, 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 stop. You'll overdo it. Get carried away. So, one there. Got bubbles. Do I need a little black? I think I might actually do black splatters today rather than white, just to bring it all together. That one's bugging me because it won't highlight. Okay. Right, so here we go. So we've got small steps every day, still move you forward. Put that there. Okie dokie. Alright, just put a little bit of blend in. Denise. A bit too much there, but never mind. Okay. Okay, do what you want in terms of the edging. Sorry, I went a bit quiet then, I was concentrating. Okay, here we go. And again, it's up to you if you want to edge them, whatever design you want to do. Hopefully you can see those. And what I am going to do is I'm going to do a dark colour around the edges, just to start and bring all this together so it's got like a frame. Did think of doing, whoops, blend that out quickly. This is why you do it off the page and then onto it rather than straight onto it, so you don't get the circles when you blend in. Okay, just a bit more faded jeans, bringing that in. Calm that one down a bit. Pick it back up off the mat because there's plenty on there, so don't waste your ink if you can. And what I might do after is quickly go around with the black edging before I then add some. I think I'm going to do black splashes, I don't know why. I think it's going to bring it together a bit more. Oops, 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 oops. Oh well, looks like a blue bubble. Blue bubble, didn't mean to do that. Okay, how's that looking? Is that okay? Right, black, where are we? A little bit of black soot just on the edges. Again, just to add in some texture and edging. You could crinkle the pages up if you wanted to. You could add this to a card front. But really simple. Just using a few different elements. So your Distress Oxides, a little bit of stamping, some Versifier Clear to do the stamping so that it doesn't smudge, because it becomes permanent when you put it on. A few different little stamps. You could use backgrounds if you've got some of your Maremi backgrounds. You could use them instead. I just like to do my own blending. I just find it so calming when you're doing blending, and it's good to learn, you know, how to blend, sort of thing, what colours go with what. I think it was probably one of the first things I tried to do when I started doing things like this. There you go, it's all coming together. That's a bit dark there, but it's okay, it's not a problem. Still bring it in. It's like a moody sky, quite like that. It's like night time, it's just going dark. The path there. Could. Where's my grey? There. I'm still stressing over this footpath. Just want it to look realistic as such. Okay, the dirt, the trees. Could use graphite. I could just get a pencil and colour those in so that you can see the bit of the hill coming down at the background, a bit up there, shade it in. You can use whatever you've got, you don't need anything. Good old pencil, going back to pencil. Blend it in. Got a blending stump somewhere. Okay, so you can add all that in, blend it in, blend it into your picture, and away we go. Okay, right, last little bit then, and I think we're done. Bear with me, let me just get some black ink, which I have. Right, I just need a little bit of paper because I don't want it to go too much over her. I really can't do splatters. I envy all those that can do them easily, because I find them really hard. Okay, I think that is about done. Let's just put a little black background behind so it makes it easier to see. This is getting a bit of a mess now. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that, and like I said, it's something quick and easy to do. Sorry, just knocked the camera. Quick and easy to do, and something that hopefully you can all have a go at. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time.